What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson, and I'm not happy. But it's a good version of not happy. Let me explain. Bones, I'm not happy because the show has declined. I'm mad at the show and the writers and how stupid the writing's become. NCIS, Season 13. I'm gonna say Episode 9. I think. I keep forgetting what episode I'm on. I'm gonna make sure I look at the next time. I'm pretty sure it's episode 9 though. But I'm not happy. Now I'll get to it. First I'm gonna talk about the case. Because ultimately it was kind of predictable, but it was an interesting concept starting off. Kid gets released on a technicality. Kid turns himself over to Gibbs to get himself arrested so they can look at it a bit deeper because nobody trusts him because, well, everybody thinks he only got released on a technicality. Nobody believes he's actually innocent. And so, they look at the case a bit more, they get more clues, and find out more about, he's accused of killing his ex-girlfriend from high school because they had an abusive relationship early on, blah, blah, blah. Where it was predictable was twice when they were doing interviews, they were interviewing the attorney and the cop that DeNozo used to work with in Baltimore. I think it's Baltimore. And both times the woman asked him, is this going to, or asked the attorney, is this going to affect your running for state attorney or something like that? And both times he was like, well, it may or it may not, but I think what's really important is that, first time it was like, what's really important is that a murderer or guilty man got away with murder. And the second time he's like, well, it may affect it, but what's important is justice is being served. And I don't know, the way he said it, as soon as he said it the second time, I'm like, he's the bad guy. And maybe that's just me making weird connections, but it turned out to have nothing to do with him running for attorney. Turns out that he was sleeping with the girl and killed her when something happened, and he killed her to keep her quiet, and then framed the kid by, finding this evidence in his car illegally and blah blah blah. Frames the kid, but because it's a technicality, he makes sure that the kid walks. So I don't know. It was kind of a weird ending. It was like, so you tried to frame the kid. You wanted to frame the kid? No, you didn't want to frame the kid. I'm confused. Please explain this to me. Comfortable? So anyway, that was the case. It was an interesting concept starting off. I was kind of wondering if they were going to go down the loopholes of law like they do sometimes. I've seen it a lot, especially in this show. They've done it where guys gets off for technicality and they have to look at it from a different angle and have to try to get them on a different crime because stupid parameters for the law. And it's an interesting topic to debate. Where does the law go too far? Because there's a man who is convicted of like a quadruple homicide because a cop walked in and saw bones of these murdered people in his living room, but he didn't have a warrant and he didn't have probable cause, so you can't use those bones as evidence. It's like, really? I don't know if anything that extreme has ever happened, but it does raise a lot of questions to how much should the law restrict and how much leeway should people get. But anyway, the show didn't go into that at all, so I'm glad. It was weird that I went off on a side topic about it when the show didn't even talk about it. But where the show really... And it's weird because I was just talking about Supergirl and how it's kind of drawn focus away from the main plot to make room for relationships around the superheroing and the fighting and the all that stuff. It's mainly focused. Well, it's weird because in this show right now, the relationships are actually more interesting, um, and it's kind of sad. Not all of the cases have been this, you know, straightforward, weird, cut and dry type cases. Um, they've had some good cases this season, so this is not like the first time that the relationships have. Uh, well, it's not the first time, but it's not like it's been happening all the season where the relationships are drawing the focus away. But in this case, the main focus was Bishop and Jake and their relationship, and of course they focused mainly on Bishop and Jake for most of this season. There's been Jake almost dies over in Budapest from a bombing, but he escapes for some reason. You're not sure why, but he's kind of acting weird about it, and they're having issues, and Bishop's not really talking about it. Well, they finally go out to dinner, and they have this moment where they're together again, and they're just enjoying each other's company, and they're reminded of when they used to sneak out at NSA together and go have lunches. So next day, of course, Bishop's like, I'm gonna go surprise him. She goes there and sees him eating with another woman. And of course, I was like, I knew that cheating little douchebag. But, surprise, surprise, she goes back to talk to Abby about it. Says, I recognize the woman, she's from Internal Affairs. I think Jake might be in trouble because they think he might be a leak. And so I was like, oh, okay, so that's interesting. I thought they were gonna go the straight affair route with this woman. She confronts him about it, and he admits he's having an affair. I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'll credit the show that it did not go the straightforward affair route. It did not just go, she sees him with a woman and they're cheating, and that's it. No, she actually still trusted him enough that she figured he was just in trouble with this internal affairs woman, and they really had me believing that he really was in trouble because he wouldn't cheat on her. Why would he do that? And so whenever he finally does reveal that he's cheating on her, you're just like, you sack of stuff I can't say because I'm trying to keep it clean. It's just it made it even worse. And I like it when shows kind of get you get emotionally invested in it to where it actually hurts whenever something bad happens to these characters. And this is no exception. Whenever she found out, my heart broke for her. And then seeing her go into the office the next day, and Gibbs immediately sees something's wrong, and she's just like, Jake told me he was having an affair on me, and they're all like shocked. And is there anything we can do to help? Blah blah blah. And she just wants to get on with her work. She doesn't want to think about it. But it does set up for a great scene where Jake comes into the NCIS office, and Tony and McGee see him first. And they are like, oh, the looks on their faces. I was just like, it's about to go down. Tony's just like, you got some big balls coming in here. And he's just like, I need to see Ellie. Is she here? And they're both just like, you need to leave right now. You have a lot of nerve coming here. And he's adamant he needs to see her, and then Gibbs shows up behind him. And of course, because it's Gibbs, that's intimidating. Not that Tony and McGee can't be intimidating, but it's like you see Tony and McGee, you're like, I need to see them now. Gibbs shows up, you're like, I'll take a rain check. And you can see how pissed he is. Because he's like, look guys, I appreciate what you're trying to do for her, but she's my wife, so, and Gibbs just shows up and you need to start treating her like a wife. You need to leave now. And I'm just like, get him! And Tony McGee say exactly what I was thinking. Like, I wonder if he's gonna hit him now. And McGee's like, probably deserve it. I'm like, yeah, he does. Hit him, Gibbs. But he shows him the elevator and tells him off one more time before sending him out. and it was a great scene seeing them, because they're a team, and as a team, they kind of develop a family relationship, um, and that's been obvious from whoever was in, whether it was Kate, whether it was Ziva, they've always had that family aspect. Um, Whether it's Kate is more like the mom, Ziva is more like the, you know, she and Tony were kind of a thing for a while, but she and McGee were like brother and sister, and Bishop has been like almost like a little sister to Tony and McGee, and so it was nice to see that family aspect kind of come out in that moment, and they're just like, dude, get out, like you don't deserve to be here right now, you piece of crap. Um, but I was almost left really pissed off because it ends with Jake gets home and finds a note from Ellie, and she's just talking about how she's going to Oklahoma. Don't try to contact her. And she doesn't know when she's coming back. And I was just like, are you serious? Like she's gone. She's off NCIS. Like what the heck is this? No, you can't. No. Like I like Ellie. She can't leave. But previews for next week did give me a bit of hope that Gibbs goes down and talks to her. So I don't know whether after that episode she's gonna be gone. But I mean, could you imagine though if she, like, the reason Ellie leaves the team is because that piece of crap just cheats on her and breaks her heart, and so she can't continue. I'm sure Gibbs is gonna try to bring her back. I don't know if he does, it would feel a little bit predictable because if she doesn't, I think that would be very well written. Because it's not what you'd expect. You kind of expect if Gibbs is going down there, okay, he's gonna bring her back. Uh, but if he's not able to, I think that would be very interesting to see. Um, maybe they've got another cast member lined up. Maybe they're just gonna be the three of them for now. Maybe Ziva's coming back soon. Who knows? Um, so a lot of good ways the story could go from here. But I mean, man, just really, really emotional, really heartbreaking episode, um, and just really sets up for next week. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen between her and Gibbs? Because she does see him as a father figure right now. So it's gonna be nice to see them in that father daughter relationship again. Because it's been a while since we've had one of those moments. Um, so yeah, that, like I said, this was the case was okay. Interesting early twist, but then it ended very weirdly. But the emotional stuff, the stuff between Bishop and Jake really just captured the episode and said, "Hey, we're gonna screw with your emotions right now." So anyway, let me know what you guys thought, and I'll see you at the next review. Peace out.